Okay. So James, this is what we call our value pricing tool, and you can see that you brought up your own sample company just as a test, and we put in the date of December 31st, 2019 to December 31st of 2020, and this is from a sample QuickBooks database. And the whole purpose of our value pricing tool is really to allow bookkeepers to understand the volume of transactions that a prospective client has, so that when you do your value pricing, you're not going to underprice the amount of work involved. So, you know, we can see right here that we have an accounts payable screen or graph, and we can see that we have 52 would be the number of vendor invoices over a 1-year period, and that there were a total of 16 line items that had to do with inventory put in there, as well as 50 expense line items. So in those 52 vendor invoices, it looks to me like 50 might have been related to expenses and 2 might have been related to some sort of inventory, where there might have been maybe eight items on each invoice on average. But now we know that, hey, you know, this client, they only have 52 vendor invoices. That's not that much. They don't have like, for example, 500 expenses, because that means there'd be 10 expense line items per vendor invoice, right? Because now you're talking 10 vendor invoices divided, 52 vendor invoices divided into 500 gives you 10.
I see. So why is it important that we have less number of items per invoice? What's the value of that?
Well, it's just less work, right? I mean, you simply will do less coding with 10 rows per invoice than if you had one. And if you only had one expense or item per vendor invoice, then you can code things a lot faster than if you have 10 or 15 line items in the vendor invoice you have to code. That's why it's important to know.
I see.
So this is not like the be-all and the end-all tool to say here's what your price should be, but it's supposed to give you some more information that you know when you go to quote the client, you have an understanding of the volume of transactions. And we've done it. We allow you to actually do a report over 2 years. This particular example only gives you 1 year. And the reason we've done that is you can see trends. You can see that if Christmas time, if this is a seasonal business, they might have a huge spike in transactions from September to December, and then nothing from January to June. Or if it's, it could be seasonal in the summer, maybe it's a fruit picking or, farming business. Again, it allows you to understand when the spike of transactions is going to be, and that might help you with allocating jobs to your internal staff in terms of work.
I see. So in this particular example, it looks like this has been posted somewhere around the 20th, 15th to the 20th of each month. Like here's the, all these different invoice items here. So this is doesn't necessarily mean that these are the expenses that occur on those days. This could have just been posted on those particular sections of time. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So now moving down to the AR side. Now sometimes some bookkeepers do AR and some don't, but it's still important to know the volume of AR transactions. And we've done the same thing on the AR side. It's like, give us the total number of invoices, AR invoices that the client does, and then how many. Here we're showing how many items, how many lines with items that are being sold on each one. We haven't extracted the services, just things that relate to inventory. So again, it just lets us know that, hey, you know what, there's 295 invoices, there's 290 items, so really there's sort of 1 or 2 rows per invoice, and that's it. But again, it helps understand the volume of transactions.
Gotcha.
And the last one really, and then we've also color coded them too, right? So in the AP you've got yellow, blue, and red, and you can quickly identify which transactions have which transactions have those criteria in them. And the last one is it says graph the volume of transactions. That's really payment accounts. So that's really how many transactions are coming in the checking account, how many are in the Visa account, and really they're going to be related to the AR and the AP, but again, we just wanted to break that out to give people more information about how many payments are going through the accounting platform. And that's really it, James.
So it looks like on this particular one right here, it looks like there was 2 payments made on that particular day. All these other ones, you had payments like one per day kind of thing here. And then as I was noticing in your accounts receivable, here you have 20. So you had 20 line items on this particular invoice. Is that how I'm reading this correctly? Invoice count, or 20 invoices on this particular day?
20 invoices in that particular day. Well, that's 19 you're showing.
Yeah, so this one was 20 and this one's 19.
Yeah.
Well, that's very interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
This one, it's how many items were in that particular invoice. So there were 8 items, I see, and there was 3. Oh, I see.
Yeah. So you can't actually drill down to actually see the invoice because actually this is data extracted into the QuickBooks database and hosted in our cloud platform.
Okay.
But again, it's just supposed to be a tool to allow you to, understand whether you're going to charge a client $400 a month or are you going to charge them $2,000 a month based on the volume of transactions they have in their database and historically the volume of transactions over the last 2 years.
I see. And this can be done for any company that's hooked up to the data automation site?
Yeah. So this works with QuickBooks Pro, Premier, Enterprise, as well as Sage 50, Sage 100, and Sage 300.
Very interesting.
Oh, and Zero as well. And QuickBooks Online, sorry.
So if I picked a month here, it would just show a month. Oh, fantastic.
Yeah. So it doesn't look like there was too much data in that month. You've gone out of the...
Yeah, I just did it for one particular month, but I could go back.
You did it for 1 day. You did it for 1 day.
I did?
Yeah.
Well, let's try 4 months. Oh, I see. Excellent.
There you go. That's it. It's pretty simple.
Very.
From there, determine how much you're going to charge your client.
And so how easy is this to hook up?
It's really easy. So we walk you through, we will actually help you set up your first database, and then after that we have some videos that allow you to hook up any remaining databases of clients that you have. And it can also be used to understand if you're actually making money on clients or to determine what is your average cost per transaction. Like what does it cost you to do on average to do accounts payable transactions? What does it cost you to do AR transactions? If someone has 500 bank and credit card transactions, roughly how long does it take you to do the books? And then from that, you'll get a cost per transaction. Like it might be, it takes me an average of, I'm making this up, 5 minutes per transaction, and therefore, and if someone's got 5 minutes per transaction, if they've got 12 transactions a month, it's going to be roughly an hour's worth of work. So I'm going to charge them whatever I'm going to charge them, $100 a month, or whatever the value pricing you want to put in place.
Interesting. Okay. And so then once let's say I've hooked up to this and I realize that this is a value for me, what's the next step? And actually, sorry, is this something that you charge? Do you charge for this?
No, this is a free tool we give to bookkeepers to allow them to hopefully make their businesses more profitable and convert over to a value-based pricing model.
Gotcha. Sorry, why do you want a free service? Why can't, like everything you got to pay for something? Why do you?
Well, really, I mean, to be perfectly honest, it's a marketing tool for our data automation platform, right? So our data automation platform allows people to migrate to a value-priced billing business model because we can automate a lot of the data entry work into QuickBooks Desktop as well as Sage 50, 100, and 300. So we give this tool away for free because really it can help the bookkeepers get exposed to our products, and hopefully we get them as clients in for some of the paid version of our services.
Fabulous.
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay. Anything else I need to know?
No, I think that's it for right now, James.
Is there any other videos that I can look at in regards to the data automation site?
Yeah, we have, if you just look up the Data Automation Company in YouTube, we have a number of videos as well as playlists. And we'll be adding more in the future here as well to help bookkeepers migrate to a value-based pricing model, as well as different coaching videos on how to help run their businesses a little bit more efficiently.
Fabulous. I look forward to looking at it.
All right, thanks, James.
Thanks, John. Appreciate it.